Well, we're at 7 furlongs for this handicap, our fourth race of the afternoon, and this is number 8 Prospect for Mark Johnson and Franny Norton. Now one of just three three-year-olds in the race, Mark, and despite pulling quite keenly, still managed to win at Leicester last time.
Yeah, he got off the mark at the 14th attempt. He'd got plenty of place efforts, both last season as a 2-year-old and earlier this campaign as well. But it was a step forward from Sandown, where he'd only finished 6th. He beat Asmund, a 61 rated horse, by half a length, and he's up £2.
Spoke earlier on to Katie Scott, and she was fancying the chances of Gweedore running well, and he overcame, coming from an unpromising position, to finish second at Musselburgh last time, number 3.
Behind another Mark Johnson horse, Asda, was beaten 2 and 3 parts of a length. He's £3 higher than his last win, which was at Musselburgh last season. Racked up a couple of wins at Musselburgh over 7 furlongs, and he won't mind a bit of ease in the ground. He's won on soft in the past.
Number 4, Daniel de Ronda, won the first race of his career when last seen out in early December. The cheek pieces that were on for that occasion are off today.
Yeah, he's only had 5 starts for David O'Mara. They were all on the all-weather, culminating in a victory at Newcastle back in December. We haven't seen him since. He's been off for 213 days, but he's still unexposed over 7 furlongs.
And finally, number 1, Chucky Dunedin's been a bit of a class dropper. Was a class 3/4 at York a couple of runs ago, and ran in the Carlisle Bell, only beaten 2 home in Class 4 company 12 days ago.
Was slowly away that day, never really got involved behind his stablemate Chichester, but he's won twice this season, once at Wolverhampton, and then went on to win at Wetherby back in April. He's £1 higher now.
Horses in the paddock then, ahead of the summer breaks at Western House Hotel Handicap. It's a Class 5 contest, over 7 furlongs. Is that who they are?
Ian Jardine, who just won our latest race at Ayr with Rose Bandage. Quite impressive she was, making all. Right, 2:45 coming up. Handicap over 7 furlongs. Prospect is 100 to 30. Gweedore, who's run some good races here, 7 to 2. Global Humour 5 to 1. 15 to 2. Chucky Dunedin, who's now 8 to 1. Daniel Deronda is 15 to 2. 17 to 2. Hajan, that's drifting. 10 to 1. Deny Knowledge. Tilsit 16 to 28 is Classy L. But Prospect's favourite 100 to 30 just firmed up a little bit in the market. Prospect for Mark Johnson and Franny Norton. Here's Gordon.
Thanks, Angus. Yeah, Mark and I were busily scribbling down the name of that 3-year-old Ian Jardine running in a handicap for the first time at Carlisle on Thursday. Ravenscraig Castle.
Yeah, we'll be concentrating on Carlisle as opposed to the Newmarket July meeting on Thursday. Gordon.
What was I going to say to you? Yeah, going back to Gweedore, when we saw him in the paddock for Racing TV Extra, given a fair bit to do, I thought, last time at Musselburgh, rather. Andrew Breslin's on board again today. Both wins in this horse's career have come at today's trip of 7 furlongs. They both come at Musselburgh.
Yeah, both came back-to-back last summer off 66 and 70. He's up to 73 now. One of those wins was game with a bit of cutting in the ground, so that won't be a problem for him. He's had the 5 starts so far this year. The best of those came last time out, that run you're talking about, again back at Musselburgh over a mile behind Asda. He's back in trip here, but 7th doesn't seem to be a problem. He hasn't really fired in 4 starts when he's been to Ayr in the past, so it's possible Musselburgh brings out the best in him, but his mark I didn't think was too bad.
Yeah, he's £3 higher than he was when gaining the latest of those Musselburgh successes last September. And then Prospect, just revisiting him after we saw him in the paddock on Extra, can be a free-going sort. And I noticed, Mark, the last 4 runs have come at today's trip of 7, including the win, of course. But prior to that, the odd run at 6, but mainly been running at 5 before. Yeah,
just 7 furlongs last time out, certainly when he won at won at Leicester. Just the fact he took 14 races to get his head in front. Handicap has not been too harsh. He's only up the £2 for a half a length win. But I just thought combination took so long to win. He's got a wide draw in stall 10. It's possible now he's got to win. His confidence could be up and he could rattle up a sequence. But I thought he could be vulnerable here.
We've got that man, Paul Morenin, bidding for a treble this afternoon, riding for Jim Goldie. Was this Global Humour the horse that we were trying to remember winning on the same day as the other horse when they had a double?
He led late on, didn't he? Came with a hold-up ride. Paul 2 from 6 on him. Thought he was a real interest. He's back to his optimum trip of 7, ran over a mile at the plate meeting at Newcastle last time out. Didn't get a clear run. His course form is a win and 2 seconds, and the fact that Jim's putting the cheek pieces back on as opposed to the hood, his record with cheek pieces is 2 wins and a second. So combination of all that, change of head gear, back in trip, back to a track he likes, and back in distance as well. Should see him go well.
Global Humour drawn in stall 1 for this 7 furlong contest. The Prospect, of course, one of 3 3-year-olds in the race, and at the opposite end of the weights we mentioned the class dropping Chucky Dunedin, who only beat 2 home in the Carlisle Bell recently.
Yeah, it was a big prize, 25 to 1, slowly away, never really got involved. He put a line through that performance. Handicap has dropped him £3 as a result. He was in good form early season, racked up a couple of wins, including at Wetherby, and he's only up £1 for that win.
And what about Daniel Deronda? Hasn't been seen since getting off the market in Newcastle in early December last year.
Yeah, you wonder why we haven't seen him since. He's been off for 213 days, 5 runs for David O'Mara, all on the all-weather, but he ended the season with a win at Newcastle. He's only up £1. He's unexposed over the trip. He's back on grass here. He's a half-brother to Icon Fly, who was second in the Queen Elizabeth II stage, so he's bred to be better than the 71 horse.
Frank Gillespie owned Louis the Pious, Ayr Gold Cup winner.
Louis, yeah, absolutely, and had one of his biggest days, that's right.
Almost set then for race 4. Here's Alan.
Set. And they're off. Racing away, 7 furlongs a journey for the summer breaks at Western House Hotel Handicap Stakes. And it's Tilsit, the first one to show. Leading from Gweedore, Prospect very keen to the outside. And then to the inner is Global Humour in the black and white. Deny Knowledge just behind those. And then Chucky Dunedin in the purple. Followed by Hajan. Daniel Deronda is second to last. And Classy Al quite lit up at the back of the field. The race towards the end of the far side then. Tilsit on the front end, a length or so to Gweedore running in second. Global Humour, Prospect third and fourth. Then Deny Knowledge in fifth around the bend from Chucky Dunedin and Hajan. The back two remain Daniel Deronda and Classy Al. Heads will soon be turning back towards home as they continue their journey to halfway. Tilsit leading, Gweedore in second, Global Humour third. Prospects is next, and then Deny Knowledge and Chicky Dunedin, followed by Hijam and Classy Owl, and last is Daniel Deronda. Racing up the home straight towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Tilsit still with this narrow lead. Gweedore, though, driven on turns towards the near side. Global Humour now looming up over toward the far side, the black and white. Then Prospect is now pushed along for more from Chicky Dunedin, and then Deny Knowledge. The final furlong looming. Gweedore's got the lead from Tilsit. He's battling away. Global Humour trying to come into it over on that far running rail. Gweedore, Tilsit between him. Global Humour against the running rail. It's Gweedore, Global Humour and Tilsit. A three-way go to the line. Gweedore just in front. Gweedore just in front from Global Humour and Tilsit. Tight for second and third. Then Chicky Dunedin and Daniel Deronda.
She'll be absolutely over the moon with that, will the Borders trainer Katie Scott. She's a bubbly little character at the best of times, and Andrew Breslin on board Gweedore, always prominent today, and the Lamont Racing colours. Big run from Global Humour, as Mark predicted beforehand. The long-time leader, Tilsit's run a blinder to hang on for third place. All Mike Smith's horses at the moment are performing out of their skins, but the horse in short, who was maybe a bit unlucky at Musselburgh last time, Gweedore, goes one better this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right, Gordon. Dropping back in trip as well, ran over a mile last time out at Musselburgh. The three horses who've dominated have finished. They were always in the firing line, really. But Gweedore, yeah, that's his first win since he won at Musselburgh back in September. The head-on could be quite interesting because they've almost started down the middle of the track and then they've all edged to the far side, the three principals. Paul Mulrennan was well positioned on Global Humour, but he just didn't pick up, did he, quite in that final furlong?
Judges confirmed the result that Gweedore has won. Global Humour second, Tilsit's finished third, and it's Chicky Dunedin that's got fourth place. But I was just looking through the form of Tilsit, Mark. That's a massive run from the third placed horse.
Yeah, it was a winner at Southwell back in, was it February, but he's low mileage on the turf. It's a big step forward on his previous efforts. Just watching the head on there, they've just gradually gone left. I don't think there was too much contact, but Gweedore has definitely shifted to his left, but I don't think there's enough to be turning the tables on anything. I thought the eye catcher in behind was Daniel Deronda, the David O'Mara horse, who very slowly away. He was drawn wide in 9, he was out the back, but he does his best work late on. First run for 213 days, I'm sure he'll improve.